good evening, folks. This is your racial disruptor, your chaos coordinator of the LM Experience, your podcaster for the Convo at Keisha, and your chief blogger at LaKeishaMosley.com. I am so excited to have you all with me tonight. But before I introduce my esteemed panel of guests, I want y'all to do us a favor. I want y'all to share this broadcast like right now. So, like, go to the share button and hit share so folks will know what we doing. They can hear us and they can join in the discussion too because we want this to be live for everybody. So just take a minute and do that. Tag your friends. Let everybody know where we're at. So, panel, I have just shared it as well. You all should be able to see it. You all are tagged in it. So, y'all should be good. Let everybody know where we're at. So, y'all ready to rock and roll, audience? Panel, we ready?
Ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So tonight, y'all, I am like so excited about this panel because this the real deal Holyfield right here, y'all. I'm telling you. So first up is my homeboy out of Shreveport Post City, Louisiana.
Yes.
Mr. Kendrick Thomas. Kendrick, oh my gosh, y'all, he's just amazing. Okay, so he in the school system first and foremost. He takes care of the youth and was up here in what? A-Leaf, Texas is what I'm saying.
Swat.
He is a school administrator. I'm trying. He is a school administrator. He leads the Great Boys Club in the A-Leaf ISD, and he works countless hours speaking with at-risk youth. So hats off to my boy Kendrick. So glad he's here. Next up is Mr. Eric Jones Jr. Mr. Eric Jones has overcome a lot, physical disabilities as well as being bullying and attempted to commit suicide. But my friend now is a father, a mentor, a basketball coach, a motivational speaker, author, CEO of his own t-shirt company, y'all. So don't tell me what you can't come back from, okay? So Eric has done that. I also have Miss Tanya J. Miller. So y'all should know Tanya. Like Tanya and I, we've been rocking for a minute now. Like we've been on webinars, we've been on the podcast. Like I almost picked up a collection for her one time because she dropped the fire real bad. So just in case y'all forgot, let me just introduce her again. So she is the CEO of Tanya J. Miller LLC. And talking with Tanya, she's an author, a speaker, a coach, and a strategist with a passion for helping people and organizations figure out how to do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose. I'm going to say that one more time. Unapologetically on purpose. And last but certainly not least is my homegirl, Miss Tara Nicole Riley. Me and Tara, we rock hard too, though. We talk offline. We just vibe like that. My girl is a motivational speaker who focuses on mental health, time management, and women's empowerment. She's written 3 books, and she is a business coach. So I definitely want to welcome you all to the panel this evening. How y'all folks doing?
I'm good.
Y'all good?
Hanging in there, sis. Yeah, hanging in there. Yeah.
I'm just glad to be with y'all.
Glad to have y'all. So I'm gonna start with my first question that people think I'm crazy to start with, but as all of us being entrepreneurs, does racism exist? And I'm gonna start with you, KT.
Oh yes, I believe so. Like I say, as I worked at schools, I worked in a few different places, and so I won't call any names, but I mean, I have your kids in my class, but yet and I'm on TV. But when I walk down the street, you might cross the street on me or something like that. So it's real, you know. Yeah, it exists.
Oh wow. Tiara, what's your take on it?
So yes, but one of the beauties of full-time entrepreneurship, I feel, is that I can choose who I deal with.
That part.
Okay. And that's that on that.
And that's period.
That's on period, boo.
That's period. Mr. Ed, does racism exist?
Yeah, it exists. It exists all over. Like my man said, I work in the school system too, and you see it all the time. But sometimes you can't really say us are racism, but in a sense they have that towards each other or towards other people. And it's like, you can't always just say it's the white man's fault. Sometimes your kid's just bad. Sometimes you need to get your stuff together. So I see it on both ends, but it definitely exists.
All right. And Miss Tanya?
I for sure, I definitely understand and know it exists whether you're an entrepreneur or you have an entrepreneurial mindset in the 9 to 5 you may be working. So, whichever way you fall in that, yeah, it exists. And, I think wherever you fall, you just have to figure out a way to not let it stop or block your purpose.
Right. I like that part. So let's segue into that. So we all know that we have a purpose. And as entrepreneurs, sometimes it takes us a little bit to get to, where we're at and where we are, where we're trying to be. So think about a time, just even when you started out or even now, how has racism affected your business? And I'll start with you, Eric. Can you tell us about a time where for a fact racism has affected your business?
When I was a basketball coach. So I was volunteer basketball coach at a church. This was a white church, but black people went there, and I'm a very passionate, I'm that loud coach. I'm gonna get a technical, I'm gonna fight for my team. That's like who I am. And these kids are in 8th grade, and I'm like, okay, they should know how to play basketball by now. I mean, when I grew up, you knew how to play basketball in elementary school. So they like, oh, well, some of the kids, you can't talk to them a certain way. I'm like, okay, whatever. I adjusted. But throughout the season, like I could tell they wasn't digging me being there. I was different than all the other coaches, which I was like one of the only black coaches. And my team won the championship. But guess what? They ain't call me back for the next season. They ain't say, hey, you want to coach again or none of that. And I know for a fact racism played a fact in that, because the way they would come to me and try to talk to me or say, oh, well, we feel a certain way. I'm like, has anybody on my team parent came and complained to y'all? Oh, they haven't. So then I'm obviously doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So it's just, they didn't want my flavor, my vibe in their gym. So they didn't call me back, but my team won the championship. That makes no sense.
None whatsoever. Oh, wow. Okay. Miss Tiara.
So as I alluded to, I live in a very black world, and I like it that way. But since I moved, so I grew up in the DMV area, and now I'm living in the South. And baby, some of y'all that grew up in the South may be used to some of these shenanigans, but. So I grew up in PG County, Maryland. That is the richest black county in America. I wasn't raised to feel superior for anything. I don't know what that feel like. I'm not the one. You got me messed up. Okay. You got me messed up. So there hasn't been this like big thing for me, but there's a lot of little things that I feel like in the South has become acceptable. And I'm the type of person to call it out. Like, I'll put a name on it. Excuse me. May I ask why you did that? You know what I mean? For example, I went to the post office to ship a book. I've been shipping books for 4 years now. You see what I'm saying? Like, or 3-4 years. And, you do like your media mail, all this other stuff. Cool. So he stopped. This older white man stopped. And was like, it's subject to inspection. First of all, I packed it sitting in line. Like, what? Pack your cameras if that's how you really feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, I literally put it in the envelope right there. Right. And media mail is not that much of a discount. So why would I feel the need? First of all, why would I even know about it?
Right.
Secondly, why would I feel the need to cheat you for 50 cents? It ain't that deep. So I literally asked him. I said, may I ask why you felt the need to say that? Well, it's policy. Funny. I've been shipping books for 3 years and I've never heard this conversation before. I was curious. So, he was like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. And all this stuff. So I move on. I drop it. You answer the question, right? Cool. 5 minutes later, he go and pull his black female coworker. Can you explain to this lady? I said,
no.
I say what?
I asked the question. You answered it. the conversation is over. Like, you're not about to use this Black woman to come translate because you think I didn't understand you. I heard exactly what you said and I dropped it.
Right.
Like, move on. But you think you're getting a translator because me and her a different language? No. You're not about to use her for that. And I have not seen, literally have not seen that man in that office since.
That's crazy.
Every time I go in there now, literally, every time I go in there, there's a whole Black staff. And I'm just like,
I love like us.
all of them. And I'm here for it. And I appreciate it. And now, like, I bring them donuts every once in a while. You know, because I'm in there all the time between books and shirts and all that stuff. Like, I, you know, bring them snacks. And, hey, how you doing? All this. But that man had me messed up. I had to remind myself that the I literally had to remind myself that it was the USPS and that's a federal crime.
Yeah, boo. Yeah.
I don't want them problems.
Yeah, that part. What about you, Tanya?
You know, I definitely would say, it's from an entrepreneur standpoint. I know you said personal, but I just know kind of what's big here, which is, you know, getting contract work, you know, and we got whole laws about it because it's oftentimes difficult for us to get the contract, you know, on jobs, whether it's government, you know, all of that. We got whole different classes of it, MWBE, we got veterans, we got disabled, all of that, because it's extremely difficult. And the thing that a lot of times I have a conversation with people about is the fact that we can't even get the big contract. We got to try and bid on the one where we get a percentage of it. We got to join all that groups. We got to pay all the money to be a WBE, a MBE. We got to pay all this money to even get in. Then we got to maybe even let's sometimes partner or come alongside and be a subcontractor, the other subcontractor before we can even be given a chance. And I brought that all up to say is that what I have faced is that a lot of times you judge a book by its cover when it comes to what I've faced, meaning, you know, most of the time folks say I look like I'm about 18 or 21 or something like that. And I'd be like, add 20, almost 20 plus years to that, bro. Like I'm way older than that, you know? And so it's automatically ageism that I'm facing. I'm facing racism. I'm facing the fact that I'm a woman. Like I'm facing 3 in 1. And a lot of times, you won't even look at what I bring to the table because you just judging me off of what you see. And I can have on the same bad suit that such and such got on. I can come in there out to the nines too, if that's necessary. But you know, that's the part that I don't like, because the reality is we can't begin to be, you know, those multi-million-dollar firms or businesses if we don't be given a chance. And that's the part that I don't like in entrepreneurship when it comes to racism and discrimination, because stop judging us because you're not doing all of that when it comes to the other races, the other cultures, the other ages, the other sexes. You're not. And so that's the part that just really bothers me, because you listen, you don't know what letters I got behind my name. You don't know none of that, but you judging me just because of what I look like. And that's the part that's not cool. And it has to stop.
Right. That's right. KT.
Yeah. I would say when it comes down to me personally, besides what I explained earlier, I really haven't, because my world is almost like Ms. Riley's, you know, or even my coworkers. We've been together so long till, you know, it's like my family. So I would say for me, I understand it. I know that it's real, but for my business, as far as something, even with the t-shirt company, because I sell shirts that really represent our community, you know, like minding my black-owned business or melanin popping or things like that. And so when, for instance, when Juneteenth came, it was because of what we've been going through. It was such an influx of shirts. You know, it was like $1,500, $2,000 that week just making shirts in my house. But it was all because what we are facing is a real situation, and that was people reacting to it to really push back during that Juneteenth week to represent us. You know, so it is real.
Yeah,
I know. Hey, I heard the plug. I see you, sir. I see you doing your thing. I heard the plug, and he said I made 4. I'm looking for 5 next year. Okay, I heard you. You know how I cut. You know how I cut up. You know how I cut up. You know how I do.
That's all right, girl. We're gonna all them people dropped at the end. Why? We
No,
gotta
it was real.
we
Yeah,
gotta do that.
that was a real story.
Hey, hey, ain't nothing but love, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I get down with
hey,
you, Eric,
you
and
already know.
Lakeisha. I'm getting to kick it with
Yeah,
Sierra, but y'all know how I cut up. So Lakeisha,
yeah.
don't. I'm not, tell me if I'm getting in trouble too much.
I'm
Nah,
not.
we
I
know
tone it
you cutting
down.
up. You got that first lady fan going. We
That's
know
right.
you
And my
came not to
come
play.
here.
Hey,
Don't do
hey,
that.
But I'm not mad.
hey.
I'm not
Not at
I
mad.
can't be
all.
out here glistening. Listen,
My pastor over here playing
Listen,
devil's advocate talking about racism is a myth. And then he came back and said he just kidding. So we gotta
I
act
see
like
you. I
we
see
gotta
the
act like,
pastor.
oh no, when I tell you he be bringing it, he got his own little broadcast about racism. So yes, he rocks with that. But honestly, I'm with you, KT. I haven't really experienced it in my business. And I will say this, y'all. It may be because Susie brings me to the table. You know what I'm saying? Susie reaches over and brings me to the table. I have experienced it in my 9 to 5. I have definitely experienced it in my 9 to 5. And sometimes, I have wanted to say, you don't even know who I am, bro. I need you to understand. You don't
You
even know
can't
who
be doing that, Lakeisha. You in management. You
Hey,
cannot be doing that.
listen.
Yeah,
I feel you. I be like that at my not. Like, all right, y'all think just because we at this little job, all right, you don't know who I am and what? Okay, well, I have to walk away because I
I do
feel
too.
you.
Yeah.
She in management though.
like,
She the one they bringing it to try and resolve it. She can't be cutting up that hard.
no,
Hey,
because I've been in
hey,
retail management. So prior to being a full-time entrepreneur, retail management was all I knew my whole adult life.
uh,
Baby, can I speak to the manager? You are.
And don't blink at it. You can't blink. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how can I
I,
help you?
That
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. And
yeah.
that's the
Listen,
hard
that's the
part.
biggest part.
Yeah, that's the hard part to me because it's like, you have to maintain because the first thing, y'all, the minute we pop off, oh, he angry, he aggressive, he combative,
Mhm.
he has an attitude, and you can't really express yourself, without having those things, pop up. And I really wish that people wouldn't see us in that light. So let me ask, are we combative? Or is it that we just speak a different language than them?
Mhm.
I'll start with oh, you want to start? Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Because I think it's both, right? And I
Okay.
think because there's this stereotype of the angry Black woman, we try to pretend like it's completely false when the reality is there are some of us that are angry for no reason. And I used to be that person. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying with love, like one, we need to hold ourselves accountable, but also we need to be able to show up in the world completely and whole. But the person who's angry all the time, you need to find peace for you.
Yeah.
Those people will never meet you again. They don't know you exist for real. You know what I mean? And so when I started to reflect on myself, and I appreciate someone who I cared about holding me accountable and saying, it was somebody, a past relationship, and he was like, I don't even want to be in public with you because you always popping off.
Oh.
And it was in that moment I was like, oh, is that bad? And he was like, yeah, it's that bad. And it's caused me to be like, all right, let me check that, right? But it took years to really process, like, one, where is this learned behavior coming from? Why am I continuing this behavior? All of these other things. And even in that post office example, right? Like, I could have popped off, but learning how to say, like, all right, this in my back pocket, don't make me pull it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right there, boo.
But also protecting my peace enough to say, is this moment worth it when I will never see this man again?
Yeah.
And really having that conversation with myself. One thing that has helped me is the 5x5 rule. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes upset about it. Set a timer if you need to. But what that does is it really puts it in perspective. Like, how much of your energy are you going to give to a stranger? Like really sit with that. Like, how much time, like, you took 2 minutes of my day and I'm going to give you the rest of the 24 hours.
Nah, bruh.
It's just not worth it. So yes, we speak a different language, right? But also holding ourselves accountable and saying, okay, but why? And are we capable of doing different?
Right. What about you, Eric?
I would say yeah, but okay.
I
Ladies first, go ahead. Excuse me, first lady fan, go ahead. That fan gave her that power. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. It's my
I
turn.
ain't dealing with you. I ain't dealing. Well, no, I really, it's a thing that bothers me. And that's why I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I had kind of a balanced approach more than at least a lot of my family members did. Meaning, I grew up like early on in Stop Six Texas. This I did. Like he say, "Oh, Clip America." I'm gonna say Stop Six Texas. Okay,
Yeah.
and so that's the fam. But I also ended up moving in basically to a minority white neighborhood school, all of that. And so I feel like I can understand where you come from. I can let you have your day because you have your day. They had a day. You feel me? Like they come in there, stank attitude, don't talk to nobody, nose all up, and I let you do you, and I be like, you through yet? And you be like, okay. I'm like, okay, so we gonna get on with our day, and I love you, you love me, because like I really do. Like for me, it's not even. I don't look at it as everybody because I have who I call my white granny to this day, and my mama know I had it, my granny knew I had a white granny, so she passed. That is my family, to for real, for real. Her kids know she my family. Her grandkids know she my family, and I fight over her. So, like, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as, a person and individually. And so, what I don't like the fact is, I can give you grace, but you won't give us grace. You won't see that I'm having a bad day. You won't see that it's something wrong. You automatically jump to conclusion. I'm not even necessarily talking about myself personally, but I just see it because why you got to be over there whispering and talking about my sister, about talking about, oh, what she like, talking, oh, I wonder what happened. That's not even necessary. It's not called for. You
Right.
come in here with the same energy some days. You have the same stuff. A person get on your nerves that you was working on a project with, a business person, you in your business, and they do you wrong and they don't pay you. You get the same vibes. You feel the same way. I
Right.
don't like the fact that we still in a situation where it's literally it's separate but equal. It's not fair play. It's not fair ground, and that's what I don't like because I'm cool if you got some energy because the reality is it's not even combative. I think more or less like Lakeisha, what you said. We just respond culturally differently, but it's still
Right.
the same energy. It's still the same energy. Mad is mad, and no matter what language or culture or race you're
Right.
from, mad is mad. You know what I'm saying? It just may
Exactly.
sound different, it may look different, but you still mad. You still in your feelings tight, and it ain't right. So I think we have to just be better as a people to really be more not just self-aware but consciously aware that we really are different. Stop using inclusion and diversity for a tagline and an HR hype up. Do it for real, and really
Right.
do the real work behind it to actually get to respect, understand, and at least coexist with others besides your two and no more. Like, cause it's getting old, and we are
Yeah.
literally becoming a world that we're not even gonna see color no more because we all gonna be mixed up for real, for real. You gonna be Indian and black. And I ain't talking about Native American. You're gonna be Indian and black. You're gonna
Right.
be Hispanic and Asian. Like it's all that. Like we're literally and seeing the generations where they actually make up more of the classroom now. And so
Exactly.
we can't keep doing this because you literally are making them choose when you still at the same time trying to say we don't see color. Like that's not okay. So we got to do better for those coming behind us and then behind them after that. Because like I said, we can't keep saying this thing, diversity and inclusion, and not doing the work behind it to actually do what it says and represent what it means. I'm
Right.
through. Pass it to you, brother EJ. You got the church mic. Let's go. I
so
tell y'all know.
so for me, it's a little different. because of my physical disability. Like I look different. So for some dumb reason, people think I'm not supposed to react as if they talking to me in disrespect. Like I'm just supposed to sit there and accept it. Like I'm not a grown man, like they a grown man or a grown woman. So sometimes people come at me sideways and then they be like, oh, he aggressive or he got an attitude. No, you thought you was going to disrespect me? You done lost your mind. Like, I just don't go for that. So I deal with that in a certain degree. But I feel like, kind of like Tanya, I grew up with white friends. I got babysit. So I know how to operate with those of a different race and my race. But sometimes we do act like niggas. Just gonna keep it, because I work in a shoe store at a hood mall. Listen, at a hood mall. Some Jordans came out, right? These people is arguing, ready to fight over a 5C. Your baby can't even walk in a 5C, but you acting colorish. And then it's like when people see that
release, it might be the same situation though.
Hold up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it is like we can't act that way all the time over what they expect us to act that way over. Like they expecting that. They see us. Let the news would have been, or a white person. Oh, let's catch this on the news and put it and blow it up and make it seem like, oh, it's so bad. Like I seen a video. It was a white dude. I think it was a security guard in Kroger's. He wrestling. He tased. He fighting. I'm like, my man ain't dead yet. Like, what's going on? Like, he ain't got shot. Like, and then this is the crazy part. It was some of us helping, but we ain't gonna help when the police. Like, I don't understand that. So I feel like right now, if I'm talking to somebody maybe of a different color, they like, oh, he aggressive. No, I'm just talking with passion. So we talk the same language. Our energy just different, and sometimes they can't accept our energy. But they want us to accept their energy when they want to somewhat have energy like us, until they got to be like us or in a situation like us. Then they turn back to, oh, hello, officer. How are you? My name's Rebecca. But as soon as the officer gone, they want to listen to trap music and talk all hood, but you live in the suburbs and your life all good. So I don't, it's mind boggling because they try to talk that way. But then when we talk our way, why do you have to say it like that? What you mean? You were just trying to talk like us. So now you feeling some type of way? Like I'm so confused with that. Like I really don't get it. Like people say like, oh, you loud. No, I just talk with passion. I'm sorry that I got a loud voice, but then somebody else could come in and because they have a title, you know how when the head boss come in and everybody want to act all, oh my god, no, I'm gonna be me. I'm not gonna change because I couldn't care less if Trump came in the room, if Obama came in. I'm gonna be me, Eric. And it's like, why do you change up? If we continue to be us at all times, then they'll be able to accept it instead of trying to kiss somebody behind to get somewhere. Maybe our journey is different than everybody else's, but we got to be authentic and be us regardless, and then they'll be able to respect us and accept us rather than we trying to be something that we not. Because they try to be something that they not until they in a situation where they got to really be something that they not. That's just how I feel on it.
Yeah, that's true. KT,
combative. I would say, as a black man, when I talk to old schools or the elders, they say, well, if you want to do something, you got to be 3 times better, right? You got to do all this, and so that's almost pressure because I want to be successful. I want to shine, but at the same time, in some cases, I have to bite my tongue, right? And so after a while, I'm tired of biting my tongue, right? I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of almost like making myself smaller so that I can get ahead a little bit, you know? And so after that, so sometimes I am combative because at that point, I'm tired, you know. It's like real life is hard. I'm a hard guy, but in my 9 to 5, I'm an elementary principal, so I gotta be soft and caring. And so like once I take that superhero cape off and I go out into this real world, then I'm sorry. Sometimes I gotta give you that smoke because now I'm tired. You know? So
Okay.
So I don't know. So yeah, sometimes it does get kind of combative, but that's only
Yeah.
because I'm tired of having to fight twice as hard to get 1 inch. You know,
Right.
so that's where I'm at.
That's true. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I think about, okay, so Tyrese put a video on his Instagram a few weeks back where this white lady was going ham on the police, y'all. Like, she was calling him the F word. She was chasing him around with her camera. She was like, yeah, Hastings, I have a law degree and I have a finance degree. What about you, F face? What about you? And I'm like, I'm like, Eric, she ain't dead. Like, what happened? They ain't twist her up. They ain't hog tie, put tape her mouth. Like, homegirl went on y'all for like 7 minutes.
It's funny how they're not afraid
what I just
like
saw.
them. It's just really funny to me how that I feared for my life trigger switch on and off so easily. Like, it's confusing to me. I'm just trying to understand. I think I have an idea of what flips the switch.
When you try to write one, and you realize that ain't I done hit that smoke. I ain't seeing the principal today. I'm seeing.
Hey, y'all heard that new
Louisiana
Toby song?
I'm
He
seeing
said,
from
"Try
Louisiana.
Jesus."
Hey, Cooper Road, Louisiana.
Yeah,
Hey, y'all heard that Toby song? He said, "Try Jesus, not me, because I throw them hands."
Yes, I shared that on my page. I was like, boy, you wrote that for me, and I telling you, I know I'm in management. I know. I know, but I'm tired of y'all with this toilet paper and paper towels.
I'm not gonna do this with you today. I'm done. You
I'm tired.
Listen, we need them staples, them household items. We gotta stock up. We don't H-Town about to go down any minute. We need some staples. You know that. You know it. Cause you already know you probably done stocked up on the cool anyway. Y'all know some of y'all ain't got none. Y'all don't be doing it. Cause some of y'all will get y'all bags before we open the doors.
No, put that in the back for me.
Yeah. Do it. But not me, because I don't want all that stuff. But that's the thing too. Like, you come up in the store and you like, well, there's too many people in here. Well, ma'am, they told you to stay home.
I'm about to go.
I'm gonna push that basket. You right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just keep going. You it say stay at home, work from whatever Mayor Turner and the judge said. I don't know about y'all cities, but that's what they told us. Ain't that right, KT? Ain't that what they told us?
Stay at the house. Or either masked up.
There's too many people in here. You're one of the people. Goodbye.
See, come on.
About acting up. We didn't see it.
She cutting up. She cutting up at work. She ain't even cutting up on here. She cutting up in real life.
In real life.
My line
name some hand sanitizer.
My name was Warrior. Okay. So do I need to say it about?
No.
I'm like, I cut your ear off and I put it back on. Well, hold up, just have to put it back on. Just don't do that. So let's flip it. Cause that's a prime example. She was coming hard, y'all. Welcome, ma'am. Come on in. Oh, come on, welcome. There's too many people in here. Well, ma'am, go home because they say stay at home. Now, when they combative or when they talk with passion, what is
a beehive whooping.
It's any different. Like, I agree with you, Tanya, totally. Like, you come in here and you mad because Billy done messed up something. He ain't bringing no flour. Like, whatever your reason is, you mad and you putting that on us. But here it is. My brothers here got a target on their back when they leave out the door.
Yeah.
My sisters we having to fight for contracts to get to work with the government or to work with other people. And you mad because Bill ain't give you no flowers. Have several seats.
Or even just the pay gap. We trying to get the pay gap. If you ain't
okay,
I guess, hey.
That's
all night talking about pay gaps. And KT and Eric, it's all love, but I'm gonna tell you this one thing I know for sure: y'all still men.
The gift and the curse.
But listen,
the gift and the curse.
I get treated different too because I look different. So I don't get the full man advantage. I get a disadvantage sometimes. So but I understand what you're saying when it comes to being a woman, because my mom has been in management her whole life in retail, and I've been wanting to whip so many managers because it's like, Mom, why are you still dealing with this? Like, you shouldn't have. Like, how did this dude come in? He don't know nothing, but you've been doing it for so long. You done ran a business, made them millions of dollars, but you can't. Anyways, yeah, let's go. Yeah, because I'm get mad. I don't play when it come about. I don't play when it come about my OG. So yeah, I just hated it.
I want to add one thing though to what Tierra said, because I hear you on that side, but I don't know, KT, if you resonate with this. In corporate America and in the education system, it's actually the opposite for our Black men. They actually a lot of times the ones that can't get a promotion, they can't get a raise. It's literally maybe one Black male to every 5 Black females, and it mess around not even be any management. So in corporate America, it's a different energy, and it actually upsets me because I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with my, why we can't get promoted, and it's almost their glass ceiling hits even harder because, like you said, they feel like, well, I maybe can make I can, I'm not afraid as much of the Black woman, but a Black male, like KT said, I'm Black, I'm tall, I don't, if I don't come sweet, they gonna think I'm rough, and so that a lot of times is the pressure they fight in corporate American education, because everybody says, I know especially, we need more Black male teachers, but it is so hard. It is so hard because they facing so much. They facing, is you gonna try and fool with my kids? Is you gonna this? But it's a whole bunch of in the news that ain't even us, I ain't gonna go there, but y'all catch it. And so it's like corporate America, it is definitely harder for our Black men. Definitely harder.
That's true.
That's true.
It's a fine line. As an educator, especially working in Title I schools where it's a high population, low socioeconomic status, then is if you that guy that can deal with those kids, I would rather you use, in some cases, they would rather you use brute than your brain. So you don't get that job being the thinker because you're the person that can deal with these kids. So then they put you in that box of that guy, and so that's a big line for African American males, I would say, in education.
Right. That's true.
That's true. I deal with that because I work with special needs kids. So our classroom is smaller, but then you got, it ain't too many. Me and the other Black guy in the school, we both work in that department. So in the regular classroom, when the kids acting up, they send them to us. But see, we don't come to them rah. Hey, what's going on? Like, we try to figure out what's going on because we've been there. We was them. So we ask questions. We tell them about what we went through so they can understand, like, okay, somebody else has been through what I've been through or has dealt with something like I've been through. And you can get, it helps them, and rather than yelling at them all the time, because that old school way of do as I say, that don't work. These kids watch you. So when they send us the kids, like, to whatever, get them together, I'm not getting them together. I want to see what's wrong with him. Maybe his home life is jacked up. So I totally understand what he's saying, but you just got to flip that switch. But you don't really see a lot of Black dudes in the school. And then when you do, you don't really see them in high positions, and it's like we can and it's crazy that happens, because if we have more males in the school, the kids be together because they might not even see a male at home, but they see somebody at school and somebody that care. That's going to help change them, rather than you got these teachers that the kids walk all over, and then you want to send them to Mr. Jones. No, you should be able to get them together before you send them to me. Like, you're a teacher. I don't understand that one, but yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's easier to label them early. Than do the work to try to heal, mend, and teach and reach. So
right, that's true. So let's switch gears. Let's talk about Black dollars. So when we think about our communities, and all our communities are not all black now. Like Tanya said, it's all kind of mixed in. And now all of a sudden we've been a discovered people. You know, everybody's
I
supporting
can't.
us.
I can't.
So,
I'm not dealing with
Like all of a sudden, now I deserve a band-aid in my skin tone. Which I know I look like I match the regular band-aids, but my soul is
you
I
see, I'm
promise.
not gonna play with you, Sierra.
I promise my soul is really it's darker than it looks. I might have
right,
a Michael Jackson thing going on.
right.
that's that DMV.
Hey,
Hello,
That's
hello.
that DMV. Listen, I lived in Hampton Roads, baby. That's that DMV. Okay, I know about y'all.
Yeah, but we all of a sudden now have been discovered, and you know we're being featured, and people want to work with us. But let's talk about our money, us black folks.
Mm.
How does the black dollar, spending the black dollar in the black community, help us as entrepreneurs? Like, how does that help? I know it won't solve the problem, but how does that help us, you think, as entrepreneurs when we buy black, as we say?
It helps a lot. Oh,
no, you let me just, can I just give us one stat
you
before we
go.
start this?
You
So
go, sir.
as I thought about this today, I looked this up, and I hope this helps shape what we say so that people won't construe it like it's all good at this time because of what you said. But
Mhm.
our money, our dollar stays 6 hours in the black
Yep.
community.
Mm-hmm.
17 days in the white, 20 days in the Jewish, 30 days in the Asian, but 6 hours in our community. And so as we look at that, then hey, we got a long way to go. You know,
Oh no.
we got a long way. But I ain't mean to cut you off,
No,
Tanya.
no, you
But
good. You good.
I wanted to preface that.
And you know what, y'all? I do not want to be mad. I mean, get y'all mad at me. Y'all know it's Tanya, right?
Oh,
Hey, I'm
Tanya,
sorry.
Tanya,
I was
I
sorry. I was
apologize.
like,
You
let me
know,
do
we're
that.
supposed to get you together about that name. Go ahead, girl. I'm
Tanya
No,
sorry.
girl,
Daniela.
I'm good. But you know,
No, I appreciate you
the
correcting us, honestly.
the
Yeah.
thing that I wish, and I wish we would see, because I see this now. Like I said, I'm from Southeast America. There are no grocery stores in the neighborhood that I grew up in. There are no. It's a whole bunch of corner stores.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
now it's a Family Dollar, and it might be a Dollar Tree or Dollar General, where they
Mm-hmm.
expect us to go get our groceries from, processed, and I don't know what kind of where that meat came from. The bread mess around and be old. About to listen, and I'm not saying because
Yeah.
it's affordable, but what
Right.
I just don't like the fact that when I go there, there's no pharmacies nearby, there's no grocery stores, there's no amenities, there's not even, like me and my husband talking about, there's not even a gym, like things where we live, amenities we have, even parks that you actually can go play in, and not parks that you go meet up with your crew in and y'all doing what y'all doing, like actual parks to
Mhm.
work out in, take the, like, it's not existent. And so I don't think we understand the magnitude of what our black dollars do, not just
Mhm.
for the entrepreneurs, but just for our communities. When
Mhm.
we are actually spending and supporting our own, we are able to give ourselves more and put a better light in situation, because
Right.
the grocery stores that are around, they charging. Listen, I had to tell my people, I said, y'all need to come over here where they at and take advantage of their deals, because they charging y'all crazy. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then the products aren't as well, they're organic. What you try and get you on a gluten-free organic in the hood, it ain't gonna
Mm.
happen.
Not
Or you're
having
gonna and so the
Too
more we
vegan.
can support, well, like KT said, the more we can make our dollars spread and stay in our communities, and not just even with spending. Like this is me and my husband. We both entrepreneur, business minded people. We can go in. We talk hours on this, but like the more not only we spend it, but the more we partner, the more we collaborate, the more
that's right.
we produce projects together, the more we come on the
Yeah.
panels together, the more we put on conferences or summits together, the more we launch a business as co-partners together, the more we support each other. and do those things, because the reality is we live in an area, me and my husband, where it's very much densely it's populated with Indians.
Right.
And um it was similar with my friends in Nova, because we lived in Virginia, but they moved to Nova. Nova is Northern Virginia. I know Tara know what it is, but it was the same in the area they stayed in. And so when she came to visit, she said, "Tanya, I'm at home." I said, "I know, right?" But the thing you needed to notice is whether they stayed in the big old houses in Ashburn, Virginia, or they stayed here where we stay in Las Colinas, Texas, it still was gonna be 3 to 4 generations in that household, and they were going to stay together and work together, just like they do even in the Asian community, to help the one family get on their feet and either get into that where they trying to build and buy, or even start the business and work together collectively with that. What we lost, and I know I'm going back, but what we lost when we lost ourselves in slavery is we lost community. We lost togetherness. We lost
Yep.
so many attributes that it's taking us years and years to get back to, but it's a fight and it's an uphill battle. Like when Eric was talking earlier, and I was trying to hold and not say nothing, but part of, why we are, you will hear, like he said, that they'll act like what they where they from. They act like hood folks. I'm gonna say it like that. It's because you fighting centuries of self-hatred. You fighting centuries of being ripped from your family. You fighting centuries of having to fight and be alone, and to feel like, and to deal with that and stuff with that at the same time, working from sun up to sundown, and then can't even have your own, and you serving and people do not realize the psychological effects of what has happened to the Black people, and how it has affected so many areas of our life. And you're seeing the residue of it, but don't nobody
Right.
want to don't nobody want to get to the root of it, and really understand it. And so it affects our dollars, it affects our community, it affects everything. And I wish we would be better, like we are coming together today. I wish we would do more collaborations. I wish we would partner together and do more businesses. I wish we would do more, because we will be better, and we will get back to the strength of who we are and the community that we can be. And we will be able to keep them dollars much longer. We will be able to build. We will be able to do more. We're getting better, but look how long it took.
And I think for me, that's why I am adverse to the phrasing of people of color when I'm talking about Black people. Like, if I say Black people, if I say I'm talking about a Black woman, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all women. I'm not talking about women of color.
Right.
I'm talking about a Black woman. If I say a Black man, that is who I'm speaking about. Because when we generalize it and say person of color, we're ignoring the fact that all of the
They didn't
other
have the same history that we had.
minorities that fall into person of color migrated after
Hello.
after there were legal rights that Black people fought for. And
Exactly.
you have the audacity to come to America and say Black people, like, you have some audacity. Like,
Yeah.
that is some nerve. When we fought for your legal right to be equal for centuries, fought for it, and now, and not to create division or anything like that, but especially like when you think about like Caribbean Americans and Africans that come to America, like, you don't have that same history. Yes, you look like us, and I love y'all, right? But y'all don't have that history, and you don't have that learned behavior that is ingrained. Not only just slavery, but also Jim Crow. And then when you think about like the Black Wall Street, that was a huge example of y'all don't deserve to have businesses. So now when we're trying to get back to that place, it's also like, well, what am I supposed to do? But at the end of the day, just like KT shared the stat statistic, I think a lot of times the value of our dollar gets lost by us. Everybody else knows the value of our dollar.
They do.
Everybody else knows the value of our dollar, which is why all of these companies now all of a sudden are discovering, because they see we're taking our value serious now.
Right.
Tara, not just the value of our
Right.
dollar, but the value of our voice when
Yeah,
we actually come together. Because
absolutely.
Mhm.
when we come together, that changes what we do with our dollars. But as long as we're not together, what we do with our dollars don't matter because
Mhm.
we're not on the same page no way. But
Absolutely.
when we get on the same page, what did it say, Keisha? When we get on one accord, listen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What a time.
Yeah.
And that's
Little
what it boils down to. But at the end of the day, the black dollar is worth 2.3 trillion
Trillion, yes, ma'am,
every
trillion,
year.
and it's going up, and it's going up.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Trillion, not billion, not
right.
million, not billion, trillion every year. And so when you think about that, all I ask is before you spend that dollar, ask yourself, do I know somebody who does that?
Mhm.
Did I find somebody who does that? For example, after things started releasing and COVID and all that other stuff, I said, okay, there's a Facebook group, Charlotte Black owned business owners, right? I literally just put out the post. I said, is there anyone that does hair and anyone that does nails? Why keep going to the Dominicans? Why keep going to the Asians to get my nails done when I can support? Like, no, I'm not gonna make or break their month, but I can help. Like the same dollar I'm spending, I can spend it where I know where it's going.
Right.
And I know
Right.
that that person cares about my well-being because I'm gonna be honest with you, they'll take the dollar, but they don't care about you.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
just don't, and that's just what it is. So we have to understand the value of our dollar, and like Tanya,
Tanya. Mm-hmm.
Jay Miller.
okay,
Yeah, LC.
I believe in saying people's name right. Okay, listen, I really do. Like that's your name, that's what you deserve to be called. But like Tanya said, it's all about not only the value of your dollar, but recognizing the power that comes behind that.
Mhm.
$2.3 trillion. That means we are running the capitalism of America, but don't have a voice. Use your voice by taking your money. Like at the end of the day, when T.I. did that Gucci boycott, they saw the impact. But black people were ready to go back to Gucci. Why we got a boycott? Because they put a monkey face on a sweater and thought it was cute. How about that? Like, can that be enough? You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
you just said, let's just not wear it for 90 days. Like, and that was uproar.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we have to take our values serious and we have to understand we have the right to pull our dollar and put it wherever we want, but we keep choosing
Mhm.
to leave it at 6 hours. Come on. You can't
That
hold on
Hey,
to
ain't,
all
that
that
ain't even a work day.
hey, Tara, not just where we spend our dollar, but where we make our dollar, because they found that out real quick. That NBA, that WNBA, that NFL, they found out real quick how they make their dollar. It's gonna change how we get our dollars. We might need to
okay.
change our
We need to
attitude
change
and
a
our
lot.
posture,
But
But
it's
because
I'm
a whole bunch of them changed it.
But that's how good it's. That's how well said. And Casey, and Eric, I'm gonna get back to y'all. But there comes a history lesson in that, and I think that's what we miss.
Oh
People
yeah,
don't know all of this stuff that we talk about. Number one, because it's not always available. That's one thing. Number two, those of us who have it don't give it. We don't share those things with people, or we don't want to listen to it. Those of us who don't know what our history is and why we should be doing the things that we're doing is because we don't know what it is. Like you don't want to hear, like you said about the whole Gucci thing. You didn't want to understand why it was not okay to give Gucci your $300 for or whatever it costs. For
no,
that
I
bag.
doubt it was three.
I
It
doubt it.
probably was way more than that.
Yeah.
It was
I
way more
doubt
than
Yeah.
it.
300.
And the history behind any of that. So
Yeah.
a lot of that comes with KT, which I'm going to go back to you, is education of
Yeah.
what the struggle is and what the black dollars, mean to us and in our community.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say the biggest thing for me as of late was groups on the Facebook. Like the black CEO groups or the black blackout groups. I think that was a great place for me to run up on because you know, I met a black person that sell water, but like not somebody else water. It's their water. And so there's something like that where you don't know where
Yeah.
can I spend with these people? Where can
Yeah.
I order this stuff online? And so I think that is the first step to putting that money back into our community and just rotating it before it leaves. Because but the thing is, we have to be willing to do that, though, you know. And for
And be
instance,
patient. Be
yeah,
patient.
and this is not a
You
plug for the
can't
record.
you can't
Don't do
accept
what you gonna
Amazon
do,
Prime.
KP. I told you I ain't clicking on that, man. We
But
support
look,
each other.
but what with the t-shirts? So what happened is, I could take my time when I was learning to do them. I could take my time and try to do it on my own, mess up, burn some money, or look at YouTube with some Caucasian people I don't know, or I can call my friend, know that she has the knowledge and she'd have made 100,000 off this, and I can
Yeah.
pay her for the knowledge that she has that will help me move faster with my business. And so then when it comes down to that, my friend wrote a book, and one of the chapters is don't run off on the plug. And so
Hello.
if my friend is the plug, then I got to be willing to say, okay, I'm gonna get this knowledge from you versus somewhere else, and then we gonna help each other. And so
Yep.
that's the way it is. So now we done made a few dollars together doing stuff, but it's all because I did not hesitate to say, you got the knowledge, regardless of what's happening over here. We gonna support each other, and that's what we've been doing, you know. But I think
That's what we gotta do.
that's what those groups stand for, and that's the way we kind of keep this in our community.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. What about you, Eric?
I think what everybody said, it makes sense, and it's that poverty mindset that we were born into, a lot of us, not everybody, and everybody's stuck there. They scared to make a jump. They think like when it comes to spending, I'm a cheap person. I'm the type of person, I'm going in a grocery store, I'm putting stuff in the basket, but when I get to the line, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put this back, I'm gonna put that back. But it's because of how my mom taught me about money, because she didn't know about money. Not necessarily her fault, but now I know about money. So it's like I'm not scared to spend some dollars on things that I want and I need. And it's like I try to teach my son that, and teach kids that, so then they can get out of that. Because when you grow up in the hood, you have OGs, old heads, whatever you want to call them, but they not really they not having business, they just hustling. And then they
Right.
teach you that hustle, and then you think you gonna hustle, and then when you just hustling, you kind of gotta try to make shortcuts or stuff of that sort. And then that's what happens in our community. Everybody want a discount. You don't get it. You don't go ask Gucci for a discount. You don't go ask nobody else for a discount. But because, oh, you my mama cousin, or you knew me from back in the day, you want a discount,
Yeah.
bro. Negro, I don't know you at all. Like you wasn't there when I ain't had no money and I was starting this business. You wasn't there
Right.
when I was staying late up late. So it's like we gotta stop trying to get over on ourselves, and then we would be better. Because it's like all of us are good people, but we ain't about to let nobody disrespect us, try to get over on us. It's like you gotta add value to somebody if you want to add value back to yourself. And it's like you look out for somebody, like
Right.
small thing, like at work. If we go to the little cookie lady where she got the snacks, hey, everybody wants something, anybody wants something, we asking everybody. Because
Right.
tomorrow it might be somebody else, and it might be the day that you forgot your wallet and it was that person day. If we look out for each other, then we like it's how much trillion, how many $1 trillion y'all said?
2.3 trillion per
in our
year.
community. And we already
None of us.
the best at everything that we do. If we get over uh uh having the wrong attitude, or being
Yeah.
consistent on getting better, or being consistent on continuously like protesting. We protested, not a protest over. Or Juneteenth came, or the blackout day is over with. Now we going back to spending the dollar somewhere else. We can
Yep.
be consistent and spend the money
Gotta
for a month, 90 days in our community. We start seeing the change. Oh, wait a minute. We don't need Becky. We don't need Raheem. We don't need the Indian gas stations. Because like you said, you see the same three people. And they all getting money. It's the son working in the morning, somebody working in the afternoon, the older one work at night, and they all eating. But no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to help each other. So sometimes we've got it harder than everybody, but it's like, okay, we had it harder. We can't keep saying that's the excuse. We know the root of it. Now we got to come to and find solutions. like, and be able to come together because
Yep.
we creative just like everybody else. We can
That's
make
it.
anything anybody else can do,
If
as you
not
see,
more. If not
like,
Yeah.
and better.
more creative. And
Yeah.
all these
Exactly.
trends that are based off of the Black community, baby.
Come on, come on. It's
Yeah.
people coming out of jail that's eating, that's doing good because they went in jail and oh, I made a mistake when I was younger, and they learning and they coming out. And it's like we
Yep.
gotta, as we're doing right now, and as we do individually, we go back to the communities. We have to start doing that, but the community gotta accept. They can't be, oh, he acting funny. No, I changed. I ain't about to live in the hood and I'm making X amount of dollars where I want to continuously live here. I want to take my family across the tracks because when you
Mm-hmm.
stay in that environment, you still helping. Nipsey Hussle, for example, look what can happen. You gotta help, but you sometimes you gotta help from afar because those people still have that hate in they heart, and that's part of the problem. We gotta start loving ourselves so we can love each other. Because when you got that hate, and it's not, oh, I had a bad day. No, you got hate in your heart, and you got to
Yeah.
stop hating me. You got to stop saying, oh, it's light skin thing. It's a dark skin. No, we melanin. Like, we all together. And if we
That's
come together, we can take over the world and can't nobody stop us. They wouldn't be able to say, oh,
it.
you can't work here or you can't have dreads. So we got to fix our attitude and consistently fix it and consistently work together, and we can take
Right.
over. And it wouldn't be,
Right.
we wouldn't have to have these kind of conversations.
Right, right. And that's the whole entire reason why for me I even started this brand was because it's like, why are we steady going over to Susie Q and company and dealing with them? There's a coach, her name is April Franks. April did a live one night and she went in, y'all, like totally. She said, y'all keep asking me about Marie Forleo and Russell Brunson and these boss moms and boss babes or whatever they is. Y'all keep asking me about them. And y'all mad because they haven't spoken out. First of all, their products ain't for you in the first place. Number one, you shouldn't even be spending your money with them. But here your sister over here doing the same thing, and you won't even buy her product. You won't even buy her talking about she too high, but you'll go over here and pay $6,000 for a Marie Forleo product because it's her name, it's her brand, and you want people to know that you bought something from Marie Forleo. So I dig everything y'all said because I think we the dopest in the anyway. Number one. Number two, Susie Q and Co probably didn't peep something that we got in the first place
Mm-hmm.
and just marketed and just did what flipped it, did whatever. That takes me back to my other point that you made, Eric. Like sometimes we gotta sit down and just really fully think about these things and execute them. That's right. Because Susie gonna do that. Now Susie probably got the resources. But like KT said too, okay, if Tanya got the skills to help me get where I'm trying to go, let me go on over here and play Tanya. Get this, get this what I need, and then let me go over here and let me pay it forward and help somebody else. But we number one don't want to spend money with each other. Number two, we don't want to give it to nobody else or be able to offer our services to somebody else, so that they can pay us. I think it's twofold. We got to get out of that whole thing. Like I agree with you, Tanya. We do need to band together. We do need to try to do more stuff together, but we got to be a little bit more open-minded too. And we got to be able to reach across the aisle too and say, come on, my sister, like, let me show you this. But also she got to be open or he got to be open and receptive to what I'm trying to give to him because I can't just lay it out for you. You don't do Susie like that.
Oh yeah.
Why
Oh yeah.
do me like that?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that we gotta value what each other
Yeah.
brings to the table and respect it.
Yeah.
And it needs to be, that's why I'm a big proponent of mentorship because it needs to be mutual. It needs to be mutual respect. Whether I'm the mentor or the mentee, at the end of the day, we both have a responsibility in it and we both have to play our part. And like you also said, not just with spending our dollar, our responsibility as the the responsibility of the consumers, but also the responsibility of the entrepreneurs and the business owners. Because I didn't want to do this, y'all, but I have to because we got to do better. We have to do better with the responsibility it is of owning a business so that we don't give ourselves that bad name, because reality is, whether it's our people buying it or it's the other people out on the street, if we do one bad thing, if we mess up one good time, we mess up for every other person that look like us coming
Yeah.
behind us, and we blow
Right.
it. And so we have to do a better job with respecting people's money, with respecting people's time. And so, like Lakeisha said, if that means communicating it out, meaning having your FAQs on your store of what you need to know, your shipping policy, your processing policy, all of
Mm-hmm.
that, your return policy, your exchange,
Yep.
make that much so clear and crystal clear that you don't have no confusion, then that's what
Mm-hmm.
you need to do, so that
Mm-hmm.
not to throw it up in their face, but you can make them aware. Have that mud on
Mhm.
the store, have that mud on the invoice, have that mud on the receipt, have it everywhere so there is no confusion. Because
Mhm.
a lot of times, literally, you expect a business that's just trying to get they first 500 to act like they got 500 million, like Amazon. You cannot expect us to be on Prime and deliver your product the next day, let alone
Mhm.
the
Right.
same hours. Like,
Mhm.
and and or either you can't expect, because we live in the same DFW area code, or Houston metropolitan or DMV, that you expect that I should be able to come run you your product
Mm-hmm.
and run all around town and do delivery, but then you don't want to pay the delivery prices. Like, we have to respect each other mutually in business,
That's right.
just like in the mentorship process as well. We got to do better. We got to do better as the owners, the entrepreneurs. We're respecting people and respecting our clients, respecting our customers,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Because and I read what they're saying, to the Miss Smiley, about the pressure. It is pressure on us. It's pressure from all sides of it,
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to, the pressure of, well, if, being that one they give a chance to and then we mess up. It's pressure. I get it. But there's just also respect. There's just also common courtesy and respect. And unfortunately, a lot of us give us a bad name. I have seen it. I know, listen, y'all ain't gotta
I've
raise your
experienced
hand. I know you don't spend money on a coaching packaging or a book product, and they didn't deliver. I ain't by myself. I know that. And so we got to do better, and we have to actually deliver. We have to be what we say we are, and not just
right.
trying to get a easy up dollar. Like KT said,
Mhm.
I could have kept trying to do this mud and selling the shirt for $30, and it ain't looking like it needs to be. Or I could go get some
Mhm.
professional
Mhm.
coaching, consulting, one-on-one training, and then we could collaborate until she mentored me, collaborating until I was able to start doing it on my own by myself.
Right.
And then
Right.
she released me with a full, like, we got to do better, y'all. We can't just
Right.
expect, because that's a problem. And I know I got to throw it back, because part of the reason they want Gucci is not just because the ones that don't look like them got Gucci, but they know what they gonna get when they get Gucci.
Mhm.
Okay, they
That
know what
part.
they gonna
Yeah.
get.
Brand.
They know what they gonna get when they go stay at Hyatt. Cause baby, I'm that way. I'm gonna stay at me a Hyatt because I know what it's gonna look like. I know what I'm gonna have. I'm very picky, and so I know what I'm gonna get. But when you want me to give you a chance, you not showing up on time. You trying to charge me extra for this and that. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Sis, bruh, like, we got to do better. So
Mm-hmm.
you might need to get with somebody on this call and get you some coaching. I done already told Lakeisha, not only is she doing this disruptor, baby, Lakeisha is a coach. Okay, she's an event planning coach,
You can
and
help me out.
sound like a podcasting coach too,
Yeah.
or just an all around. So you need to get with her. You need to get with KT with this educational consulting that he doing, because the man is doing great things. You need to get with boy EJ, because EJ is doing the big thing. He got a whole podcast. He got a whole t-shirt line, and he doing major work. And that'll be my girl Tiara, got books on books on books. So y'all, the
Great.
resources are available. Y'all got to
Yes.
get with the ones. Don't just be going with the ones that got all the likes, or they look good on
Yes.
Mm,
their Instagram,
mm.
and they sound like they
Hey,
hype, but they ain't got. That's my mama. They say they ain't worth a dollar. They ain't worth a dollar.
Mm.
Listen, get with some real ones, and you listening to some. Pass the mic. I'm done. The church is
hey,
closed.
Mm.
can I bounce off that
Yeah.
to what she's saying is totally correct, and it's like she's saying, she just said we can help you. So it's for us or people that know, when you see somebody, maybe they ain't doing their business right or something, instead of talking bad about them, go help them. Like that's part of our problem too. You make one little mistake, you did something in your relationship, your household. Oh, it don't go over there to them, but your household ain't doing what you supposed to. But instead of talking about somebody, help them out and be able to, because sometimes that be
Am
part
I
of the
my brother's
problem.
keeper?
You go ask somebody and then they on some funny business or they trying to get over on you. It's like, okay, now I don't want to ask you because you didn't mess that up and that mess up for everybody. Maybe I need to go over here to Tom or them to ask because I didn't try to go to you. So as people, as black people, we gotta help each other. When you see somebody
Yeah.
fall, help them up instead of kicking them while they down. That's part of the problem. If we pick each other up or show each other, like I said with the hustling, you can't hustle your way to the top. You gotta have the right business stuff. You gotta have the right accounts, the right doing your taxes right, all that stuff. And you can't learn that from somebody that's hustling. You gotta learn that from somebody that's actually doing business. And sometimes we don't look like suit and tie. You might come in and we might say some cuss words or hear some trap music, but you're gonna get that good quality. If you don't have that good quality, find out how you can get that good quality. Because
Pull
like
them
you said,
coattails,
that's why
EJ.
they
Pull them
going. That's
coattails.
why they going to them places. Y'all, you try to get a bunch of BS product and then go sell it for a high price. Or,
Yeah.
for example, I just found out these people that work in the hood mall, they stealing from another mall and then they selling it in their store. Like, come on, y'all can't be doing that. We can't be doing that because that's what makes us look bad. Like, come
Yeah.
on, we can't steal from each other to try to get over on each other.
That's true. And I mean, just what you just said is what Robin said. Sometimes we are too hard on each other and we're not willing to teach as opposed to other races. And in all honesty, I have a really good pink friend. Been friends since we high. She was groomed and taught and conditioned to save money. So if she wanted to work a corporate job, how she needed to get there. And if she wanted to step out on her own, it was paid, the way was paid for her. So she was taught, it was ingrained, in her. So I do feel like I think Ted, you got a great idea. You got, you want to throw me in that tank. You got 5 coaches out here.
Hey,
Because
real ones. Real ones.
just it's like we don't want to invest in ourselves. I did a post the other day where I did that. I invested in me. I'm about to take a huge leap. And I invested in myself. Why? Because I can't be out here all Rudy Poo trying to just tell you how to do something. I ain't looking right. I ain't sounding right. I don't have the right stuff. Now I'm like Eric. I ain't gonna be skirt and dress. I don't do that. But you might catch me in some nice cute jeans and a nice cute blouse, and I'm gonna be looking right. But it ain't gonna always be packaged like that. We gotta sometimes give each other a break, and I think we do need to start more so, doing that where we're teaching how to start good businesses. I think when Katrina happened, that opened my eyes because I was an entrepreneur then, but my family was affected by Katrina. I wasn't. My aunt and them were affected. It was so many businesses, y'all. Businesses that have been in business for years, got not one dime. Why? Because they were not legal.
Yep.
They weren't legal.
Or they was leasing instead of owning. That's a whole nother subject. They had been written that same spot for 50 years. They never tried to own it. We got to do.
Yep.
That's a whole nother subject.
We gotta own. Because what
it.
happened to Nick Cannon shouldn't have happened if we owned stuff like that. We was on the network where we own. He was still, you know what I'm saying. So that ownership, that's a whole different. Yeah, that's a whole different.
It's real though.
But to what you were saying, like about your friend, that's why my clothing line ain't mine. It's my son's. It's called Christian Dewan. It's after him. It's for him. He's 6, so I'm showing him now stuff I wasn't shown. So when he get to being where he could go to college, it's like, do you want to pay for it or you just want to continue to go on what you've been doing? Like, and that's another thing the example that we set for our children in the next generation. We got to set a better example. We got to be a model. We can't just talk it. Like you said, I could talk till I was blue. If I ain't doing nothing, the kids gonna be like, man, why y'all got him in the school talking to me and he ain't doing nothing? And I used to be a talker, and then I was like, okay, I gotta actually do this stuff because
Right.
my homies, they like, oh, I see you doing this, but you ain't showing us the results. Now I'm showing them the results, so now they like, okay, I can do this, and that's what we gotta do. We gotta be a model to the younger generation
Right.
because they on TikTok, they on YouTube, they on Instagram, they on Facebook,
Yeah.
and if all they see is negativity, all they see is dumb stuff, that's what they gonna do. But if they can see somebody that look like them from where they came from, and
Right.
we got to start being transparent. Everybody on here transparent, but I'm talking about in general. Everybody I don't want to tell what happened. How can you help somebody? How can you help somebody if you don't tell what you done or what you done been through? Like, oh,
Right.
well, I used to be poor and now I'm rich. How did that happen? What was the steps you took? Like, come
Right.
on, help me out.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. We got to be transparent and open, and that comes with everybody stop judging. Because I take it as, hey, everybody ain't like Jesus. Everybody ain't gonna like me. So you can say what you want to say, and that's how we got to be. But we got to stop judging each other and be a better example to each other than
Right.
talking about each other, because that plays a role in the life we live in general. Everybody else don't like us. We can't not like us either.
That's
Yeah,
way
there's
too
and
much pressure.
there's actually, if I can say this real, there's two coaches that I've been following for a long time, and the thing that I love about them, and I've seen as I've seen them all do what they do, they all support each other. Like, as I've
Mhm.
literally began to see how they keep their money in even as the circle gets bigger, they keep it all there. If the coach name is CC and King Ashley not only do they support each other, they, like you said, EJ, they are completely transparent. Cece will tell you how she's battling cancer again now. She will tell you how she was making $20,000, and she will show you her receipts of how she's doing it now. But she also, what I like about both of them, King Ashley and her, Cece, is the fact that they will tell you they actually give more content and help and resources away from for free than they actually could get paid for. Like, they give more away free. And I
Mhm.
think that is in itself, like y'all, Lakeisha, you and Eric have said, is that because it brings back to the thing about what KT said about the older, I call them the older saints and the elders, say we have to be 10 times
Mm-hmm.
better. The
Mm-hmm.
thing about it was, even then, we've gotten away from that togetherness. We've gotten away from that
Mhm.
teaching each other. We've gotten away from that. If you know this, then I know that. Then we know it all. We can do it all. We can put it together. We can make a whole meal if we all come together and bring it together. And so,
Right.
what I love about them, as they are 100% transparent, they don't
Mm-hmm.
mind giving you free, because sometimes we got to be we sometimes, y'all know, biblically, it's better to give than receive. Sometimes we just got to give it.
Mhm.
Sometimes we got to
Mhm.
give it.
Yep.
Sometimes, like Eric said, we got to tell our whole story. This whole
Mhm.
Listen, my shameless plug, this whole week that I did on Talk with Tanya, I have been, I called it full disclosure, because it basically talks about how I had straight seizures for 6 hours straight this past weekend, and how now your girl is rocking a whole cane, but I'm gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's full disclosure, because we got to
Mhm.
start telling people about the good and the bad of not just
Mm-hmm.
Right.
business but life, and how no matter what, you can get back up again, and how you can as you doing the getting back up again, you can help somebody else along the way. And so, not
Right.
only am I hoping that y'all getting some of this about business, y'all figuring out how to figure out these lines, but we are also figuring out how we can get back to that, how we would come together for real, for how we would literally build. And sometimes, like y'all have all said, we might just have to start giving some of it for free. But the ones that's coming to get it for free, y'all better be listening. Y'all better be watching.
Right.
Y'all better be sharing, resharing. Listen, y'all best to be catching this replay, catching these shares. Because we better see
Right.
them shares up when we finish this. We best to see them shares up. We better see them views up. We better see them replays. Because listen, we want on here. Listen, I'm supposed to be in the
Mhm.
bed. Okay, I had to bribe my husband to let me come over. So listen, we ain't on here giving you an hour and a half, if we go over two of our time, our voices, our resources, our knowledge, and and talking for our help. We
Yeah.
want to
Right.
see us all better. We want to see you do business better. We want to see you be a better entrepreneurial employee. We want to see you be a better man, a better woman, a better parent, a better just you.
Mhm.
And if any
Right.
of us on here can do that, and hopefully you got a taste of it today, then you best believe we want to see you do something and act on it. Because none of
Right.
us are just here, just be here. I had to let that be known. Keisha ain't doing all of this and putting all these
Yeah.
panels and disrupting stuff just to disrupt it. She expecting some change. Disruption
Right.
means there's going to be something that comes together after what was shaken up and
Right.
after what was pulled apart and taken apart. There's going to be something new. So she's expecting some newness out of all of this that she's doing. So don't disappoint her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
nothing else because I done overworked myself. I'm gonna get in trouble, y'all. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get in
We
trouble.
trying to, we
I'm
trying
gonna get a whooping. I'm gonna get a
we'll,
whooping.
we'll mess around like that. So
My husband
to
gonna whoop me when I get off here. Talk about I done told you you weren't even supposed to do it all that.
y'all, to end this, I want to ask this one question. I want you to think about, and I know there's probably many things that you all can do because you're all multifaceted, multi-talented. What is one thing that we can do as entrepreneurs um, that's going to help our communities and maybe, just maybe, turn this racism thing around? Just one thing you think that will help us help others,
Come together.
what we
That's
do.
mine. Come together.
Teach.
Come together more.
We gotta be willing to share what we know. When you learn, you teach. And if we're not giving back, then we're not perpetuating the
Right.
good cycle. And so then we
Right.
got to make sure that we're helping somebody else, pull somebody else up out of where we at. I think that's it. That's the only way we can do it.
Mine is similar to KT. So when I think about my why behind business coaching, it really is the reality that there are so many creative people who do well, but lack a business mindset to create structure and foundation and sustainability.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm passionate about is business coaching because regardless of what your passion is, let me help you put structure behind it. So when you do blow up, you can handle your orders, you can handle your customers, you can handle the customer service, whatever, right? Regardless of what that is. And I've helped clients, graphic designers and personal trainers and jewelry owners and all of the things. But it's systems that need to be in place. And that for me is what I'm working on. Because I'm very, just like I hate seeing a Black owned business run ragged or run in a ragged way, I'm also doing my part with the people who are willing to invest in themselves. Because please don't ask me for a discount. I worked hard for this knowledge and I paid for it as well. You see what I'm saying? Like I've paid plenty of coaches to learn information, and I've spent plenty of hours perfecting the information.
Right.
But if you're willing to invest in yourself and you see a future for your business, I can help you create structure and processes and systems that will help you continue to be creative. And I'm not the coach that's trying to stay with you for the rest of your life. I'm trying to teach you the skills so that you can continue without me. So I can cheer you on from the stands. So I can be your support system and your customer, right? Like I'm not sitting here like, you got to stay with me for the next 10 years or you're not going to be profitable. No, as long as you need me, I'm with you. Period.
I need you to phase out.
Yeah.
But no, my goal, like for me, it's a win for you to be like, all right, it's been a few months. I feel like I'm making progress. Cool. That's a win for me. That means I did my job. If it takes you 10 years to feel like you can get on your own, I'm just taking your money at that point. And I'm for me, it's not about the money. It's just not. Like it's about and it's about who can, like when I see my past clients win, we may not have worked together in the past year or so, right? But I'm still like, yes, keep growing, keep building, all of that. So I say all that to say, like, for me, how I give back to the community is by making sure that the like we talked about earlier, like Black people are creative. We are the trend. Okay, we are the blueprint. But let's work on the systems and processes so that you can sustain that growth.
Right. Eric.
I would say it takes a village. Like you gotta we gotta have that togetherness. You gotta be able to be teachable. You know, for me, like I don't know everything about business. I'm still kind of growing, but I'm asking the right questions. I'm listening. I'm doing what people are telling me to do. And for us individually, I think whatever we're good at, whatever, however we touch our community, we just got to keep doing that, whether we getting notified or whatever. We just, as we continue, other people will see, and then they'll continue. So we just got to be that model. And when you're that model, you'll see the change, especially with us men. With men, when you're that model, everybody around you change. You got to hold your post down. Like I could see before I got divorced, my family, like when I was doing stuff, they was all doing it. And now, even though I'm not in the household, everybody's still doing that stuff, that the model I was showing. And when you do that helps people. It's not always about a title. It's just it don't matter where you at in life. Just help each other, because somebody knows something that you don't know. And if you put yourself together, you could be the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, right. I love that. Y'all is the bomb. And y'all know I love y'all, right?
Thank
you. I love y'all, definitely. So tell the folks, Tanya, I'm going to start with you. Tell them how they can contact you. Because I'm telling y'all, let me say, whoever here, it's too much greatness right here that you need to tap into. And I know everybody on here got something that you probably want. Everybody right here trying to start a t-shirt line. You got two folks right here, two brothers to help you start it right. Two business coaches, authors, workbooks who teach you how to do that right. Come on, we need to do better. So Tanya, tell them how they can get connected with you.
All right. So on social media, you will find me under Talking with Tanya. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. My website is tanyajmiller.com. You will find information on my coaching, my leadership strategy sessions, as well as speaking. You might want me on your next panel. I'm taking them. I'm just taking them a little slow, but I'm there. Or you may want to get my books. I'm an author. I have 6 that are out there, 2 more coming. So my store is at shop.tanyajmiller.com. I have books, journals, message merch is what I call it, like the lovely one I have on today that says fiercely made, because you are fiercely made, So that's on there as well as message buttons, stickers, all the 9. Shop.tanyajmiller.com. If you connect and join my fam at bit.ly, all caps join fam, you get 20%. I'm hook you up because I like family. So 20% off your first order, or feel free. I ain't gonna hate. I still get my coins. So gonna go to Amazon too as well. Feel free to go to Amazon, amazon.com/author/Tanya J. Miller. You can get the books there as well, print, digital, and audio for the books. And then for the journals, you can get them in print. And then I have a school because, like I said, we don't just talk life, we talk leadership as well, helping you to do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose. So I have classes already available to you on school.tanyajmiller.com. Some are even free 99 that'll help you get your money together to start that business, start that hustle. So go on and check out school.tanyajmiller.com as well. And hey, we're doing it. So like Keisha said, it's plenty on here. It's plenty for you to eat with. It's plenty that are saying they're available. It's up to you to now avail yourself. So thank you much for asking me, and I appreciate you so much. And hopefully I didn't do too bad because I am low in energy, but hopefully I brought it out for y'all.
Girl, you was the bomb. Don't act like that. Miss Tiara.
Yes, so I'm on all platforms at Tiara Nicole Riley. I tried to make it simple for everybody. Okay. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. I do have a podcast, the Chasing Dreams podcast. My website is tiaranicoleriley.com. holla at me. I definitely have my books there. I have some digital products there. I have some statement teas as well. You can check those out. And I got a promo code for y'all too. So I know y'all love discounts. Promo code social, give you 20% off. So definitely go ahead and check that out. It is definitely feasible. Listen, I got a whole section of my website that's $20 or less. Okay, yeah, you can find something. You can find something. But yeah, so Tiara Nicole Riley on all platforms, tiaranicoleriley.com. Holla at me.
Keisha, I said I got stuff even for $1. My message tickets start at $1. So you can't even say, yeah, child. The buttons is $3. Hey, I'm affordable. Okay.
Exactly.
Now them coaching package might be a little bit more, but other stuff.
But
I'm gonna hit you wherever it reaches you. I'm gonna hit you where it reaches you. Wherever it reaches you, that's where I'm gonna teach you.
Eric, how can we get connected with you?
On Instagram, LinkedIn, Eric Jones Jr. Speaks. I have a podcast. It's a Jones Thing podcast on Instagram. You can listen on all podcast platforms. My website for my clothing line, I'm working on it because I don't want to be one of them people that just have, just a website just to go on there. So it's still in the works, but I sell my shirts here. So I actually got on one of my shirts. It says I'm worth more than a hashtag black man. So you could go on the website or no, Facebook, Christian Dewan. It's spelled Christian DE capital JUAN, and that's it. I got a YouTube, and Eric Jones Jr. Speaks too. And you can email me at Eric Jones Jr. Speaks if you would like me to speak, come talk to your kids on your podcast, or if you want to be a guest on my podcast, it's a Jones Thing podcast at Gmail. And
can
thank
I do
you
a plug,
for
Eric? Can I do a plug? Y'all go listen to me and Eric episode. We did an episode together.
She was clowning, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on this panel. Thank everybody for all y'all honesty and authenticity. I think I said that right. I might have said it wrong, but I appreciate y'all. Y'all was fun, and thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. KT.
Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it simple. So if everything is KTTV, K, 2 T's, 2 E's, and a V. That's Facebook, Instagram, all the way to LinkedIn. Just go there. The website, kttv.com, and the podcast, youtube.com. What? KTTV. So look, we try to keep it simple. Now, but the biggest thing about that is I'm taking the podcast to a radio show. And so starting August 9th, I'll be on 95.3 Jams. And so then thank you. I appreciate that.
Congrats.
Yeah. So and that's where we can dive deeper into the podcast and just have feedback live with listeners. So just ready to get that, because as I said, it's all about teaching people and just giving people knowledge. And so over 900,000 listeners be able to kind of do that. So I'm excited.
And go catch our episode too. Go catch me and KT episode. I did one on him too.
Please.
KT, when you started talking, it was like one of them deacons at the church.
Hey.
No, he sounded like an announcer. He sounded like an announcer.
I was like, KT finna bring it. He finna come out with some websites. I'm gonna make it simple.
Simple. Look, hey, just type in.
He got the radio voice already.
Yeah.
Go to Google. And if you type in KTTV, you will find everything. That's it.
Is it getting past your bedtime principle? Because you couldn't know.
No. I just look. I was just thankful to be able to make everything cohesive like that. Well, for the simple fact of, just look, that in school we got to keep it simple. So that's my motto.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I certainly appreciate y'all so much for joining me on tonight. This will not be the last time. I have definitely had Tanya and Tiara on the podcast. Both of them brought fire. I got to get my two brothers on there. But yeah, Tanya had me like this. I was like, do y'all have a collection plate for her? We need to do a donation button. Yeah, and Tiara wasn't even playing either. Like, what did you do? You see, she had her finger, y'all. She don't.
Yeah, she always got that finger.
She hit that mute. She hit that unmute, and she be like, hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm a really dedicated person. I can't even help it. And the crazy part is I'm so introverted, but I definitely have a switch. Like because I'm a motivational speaker too, right? So when it's time, it turned on, and I can't even help it. I don't know who it is. I got to come up with like a stage name. Because it's not me, I promise. Like, people who know me be like,
oh my God, no ma'am. But I appreciate y'all so much. I will have y'all back. Thank you all.
Thank you
for listening and joining us on tonight. Next week, we are going to be talking about mental health and racism because, man, it's getting real out here. It's so much stuff happening. And I'm so glad we ain't stopped marching. We ain't stopped protesting. But we're going to talk about your psyche, your brain, and how that racism affects that. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. Have a good night.